Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I can't believe it's September already and it's still over 100 degrees outside. It doesn't feel like fall at all, but I went to Starbucks the other day and that's when I saw it. The pumpkin spice latte. Then I ordered a vanilla latte, but pumpkin flavored things means that fall is in fact here. So I decided to go to Joann's to see what new fabrics they had, and there were pumpkins everywhere. Cue pumpkin montage. I really wanted to DIY one for myself because you know that DIYing something is always much cheaper than just buying the item. I went to the fabric section to look at velvet and had a big nope moment. I didn't have the motivation for $25 a yard that day. Then I remembered I'd amputated about 5 feet of fabric from a velvet curtain from a different DIY video, so I decided to dig that out of my fabric stash. It's not orange, but pumpkins come in all sorts of colors these days. I wanted to try and make a pumpkin that had ridges, so I made this curvy X-shaped pattern. Each piece will be one of the pumpkin bumps. I really hope I'm explaining this right. I drew 8 of the pieces on the wrong side of my fabric using a Sharpie and then cut them out.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I folded the piece in half and I'm going to sew along the outer edge of both curves just like this. When you sew this, try to round out the curve as you reach the center. Once I finished sewing both sides, I trimmed away the extra fabric. I had to repeat this same process for all 8 pieces. You'll see there are a lot of repetitive steps in this DIY. Once I had all 8 of the pieces sewn into this crescent moon shape, I needed to start attaching them to each other. To do this, I flipped one piece right side out and then placed it right sides together with a second piece. I'm going to sew along this curve. I pinned the 2 pieces together, starting at each end and working my way towards the center, and then took it over to my sewing machine. While sewing these together, I made sure all of the fabric was laying flat under my needle so that there wouldn't be any puckers or pinches on the fabric. I always find sewing curves to be a little bit tricky. So now we have 2 of the ridge pieces sewn together. I'm going to keep repeating this same process until I have all 8 pieces attached. To make this process go by faster, I started pinning a piece to each side of the pumpkin so I could double down on attachment efficiency. Once I had all the pieces attached, I flipped it inside out and pinned each of the ends together. I took this over to my machine and sewed the last pieces to one another. I made sure to leave a small hole on the top side of the pumpkin so that I could flip it right side out once I was done sewing. Here you can see I have a hole on this end and I'm going to pull the fabric through it to turn my pumpkin right side out. I'm using polyfill to stuff my pumpkin, but small fabric scraps would work too if you want to find ways to use your leftover fabrics. I kept stuffing my pumpkin until I was happy with the shape. Now it's time for the details. This is the pumpkin stem I stole from a cheap styrofoam pumpkin because he deserves better. It has this little nub on the end, so I decided to leave a small hole on the top of my pumpkin so I could insert the stem, if you know what I mean. You could also make a stem with a larger stick from the floral section of your favorite DIY or craft store, or you can get a bunch of small sticks and tie them together. I thought that looked pretty cute too. If you have a stem that is just flat on the bottom, I'd recommend closing the hole in the top, but for my pumpkin, I'm just gonna leave it this way. You know, to insert the stem. I bought these fall leaves while I was at the fabric store, so I'm going to use these to decorate my pumpkin. On a side note, don't use your fabric scissors to cut out floral decor because there is wires in it. These are just an old pair that aren't very sharp anymore, so they've been demoted. Now remember, you're really trying to cover up your mistakes here, so think about that leaf placement. The bigger the mistake, the bigger the leaf. Easy. I hot glued each of the leaves on and then also attached this cute straw bow. I really like the contrast between the teal fabric and the orange leaves. I added hot glue to the center and attached the stem. Thank you so much for watching me turn a scrap piece of curtain into a pumpkin. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoy making DIYs and sharing them with you on this channel. As always, the pattern is linked down below in the description if you want to give this one a try. Enjoy your pumpkin spice lattes, and I hope to see you for the next one. Bye!